Hello everybody, we're going to give it some time for people to come in. This is going to be part 2. For those of you that are checking it for the first time, I'm saying part 2 because I went live on Instagram to do all the readings. So I'm going to do from Sagittarius to Aries now. I already did from Taurus all the way to Scorpio. And then what I did was I just split that video so that way everyone could just see from their sign. Hey everybody, can y'all let me know? I see y'all come in, and can y'all let me know if you hear me good, if the music is too loud or not, if I'm too loud, if I'm yelling at y'all. But I'm gonna get started once I see the comments are working. I'm gonna start with Sagittarius, and then I'm gonna go my way through the rest of the zodiac, and I'm doing the collective reading for each of the zodiac signs for this upcoming new moon in Taurus, which is happening on May 7th. All right. I am pretty much gonna do like a overall energy for that zodiac sign. Greetings, you hear the music? Okay, can you hear me well? And then I'm also gonna do an animal spirit, a crystal spirit, and then a final advice. Excuse me, the incense just like went into my mouth. I don't know if y'all can see the smoke or not. All right, cool, awesome. So let's get started here. So the overall general collective message for the zodiac sign of Sagittarius. I did already pre-shuffle the deck before I came in for this new moon in Taurus. Oh, I'm loving this energy. It feels really, really rewarding, really big. Sagittarius, y'all got a lot of things going on too, with Jupiter being your ruler. Jupiter is also in the sign of Taurus, which is complementing this new moon for y'all. Thank you. Y'all may be feeling a lot of like these changes of expansion is really like eye-opening also, is what I'm getting. That's is that 4? Yeah, perfect. Okay, cool. All right, so this is how the bottom of the deck is showing. So we have the Knights of Wands and the Nine of Swords showing there. So there's a bit of anxiety, I would say. If you are feeling anxiety, do a little bit more grounding work. I know these energies right now, these DNA upgrades are very much energetically feeling like it can be a lot for some of you, right? For some of you, you are feeling, you know, your body going through like palpitations in a sense, and you're like, what the hell is going on? I'm feeling things moving in my body that I don't really recognize, or I never had this experience before. I would say it's a DNA upgrade to bring you to a higher level of consciousness, to expand your auric field as well. And there's also some like mental stuff that needs to get clear, that needs to be worked through. So I would definitely say, like, you know, definitely, you know, taking care of your mental health. The reason I'm also saying that, we do have the Hermit card here, but the first card that came out is the Nine of Pentacles. So I told you, I see y'all really reaping the rewards of the energies of you're benefiting from this energy, right? You're reaping the rewards of all the hard work that you put out there. This is why you're experiencing the elevated consciousness. This is why you're experiencing that expansion and that growth. And you know, if you're, you know, nervous about the unknown, or anticipating what you know to come, right? Allow that to bring you excitement, right? I said this for one of the other zodiac signs that was talking about unknown energy. If somebody's experiencing you know, a little bit of a fear of the unknown, look at it as a way to celebrate your life. Look at it as a way to say, yo, this is just a level up. I don't really know what it's gonna completely look like, but I know that this is serving my highest good, right? I know that this is happening for me. So I just kind of want to say that because I do recommend that everybody watch the Taurus. I didn't say this in the beginning of the video, but for those of you that's tuning in or watching the replay, if you're catching Sagittarius, and I'm going to say this for all the zodiac signs, so sorry for y'all that are live if I sound redundant, but I recommend that everybody listen and watch the Taurus, which was the longest reading out of all the other zodiac signs, because that is the main influential energy that is going to be connecting with all the other zodiac signs, right? That is the influential collective energy. That being said, you know, some of you may also be watching your sun, your moon, and your rising, and your Venus and Jupiter energies, perhaps, right? And so there are going to be certain messages that may have came up in another zodiac sign that is coming through here. Nonetheless, not every message is the same. I'm not feeling the same energy here. I do feel a sense of anxiety, though, in a sense to ground yourself, right? To refocus your concentration in the now moment. You have a lot of things that is to be celebrated. I see you in a very fertile position in life, right, where your manifestations are rushing in, where your wishes are being fulfilled. It's a more joyous, happy environment than you had experienced in a while, in a long time. It's almost like finding security and sacredness in your home, in your temple. And so if there is that like mental stuff going on, if there is that anxiety, you know, reach out to a loved one, reach out to a friend if you need that support that you know is going to bring you back to wholeness and to source and to home, right? With your mind, body, and spirit. But nonetheless, is being that for yourself and knowing that, right? Rather than relying, because this rather than relying on other people, in a sense, this energy here is like pre-Empress energy is how I look at the Nine of Pentacles, right? The Nine of Pentacles, she's reaping the harvest, right? But there's still a level up that she needs to go through, right? But nonetheless, she's in a very fertile place. And this energy is very connected to the birds, very connected to the earth. So if you are feeling that like hyper speed energy, again, do some grounding work, right? Connect with the earth around you. There could be a sense of an anxiety because maybe you were looking for some sort of reconciliation or reconnection with somebody that you needed to let go, or you're being called to let go so that you can truly expand in that joyous space, right? This connection served the purpose in what it did, and you no longer have to experience the hardships, or no longer have to, even if it was a good relationship, right? It's like celebrate it for what it was. Celebrate it for all the lessons you got from it, right? And so this could be, maybe you were looking to reunite with someone or go to a family reunion, or just like letting go of something. So I'm just going to show you the cards here. With the Three of Cups and the Hermit here and the Lover's card here, right? This could have perhaps been like a reconciliation or something that you were looking forward to, that it's not necessarily, I mentioned, I think it was in Taurus reading specifically, where it's like the need to like forgive, but not necessarily allow people back into your life, right? That may not necessarily be needed to serve your highest and greatest good anymore, right? And so there is that message. There are messages coming through pretty fast here, right? And it's like this energy is truthful, it's honest, it's allowing for you to really sit in the seat of your throne, to really be in your fertilization. And you know, if there's an energy of needing to be impulsive, maybe minding your impulses and how you're this could also be a lot of like traveling going on. So nonetheless, you know, maybe you might be needing to come out of hermit mode. I know I think it was for like Scorpio, they had hermit mode to like go within and everything like that. I do feel y'all to like go within, but I also feel like maybe you've been keeping yourself in hermit mode and it's a need for you to go outside in nature, reconnect with nature, to really get your mind right, to get some grounding, and allow yourself to rejoice with like healthy, meaningful connections. Allow yourself to rejoice with Source, with the Most High, to really integrate your connections with all the relationships you have in your life, right? To grab a better understanding, understanding, and overstanding of the relationships that you have allowed yourself to be involved in, for your knowingness and discernment of life's lessons, of what you want to reflect in your reality, right? What you want to be reflected back to you. You know, it could be maybe a redirection or something here. Let me see what animal spirit wants to come out for Sagittarius. Hello, everyone that's just coming in. I felt that energy. I feel like I'm gonna pull in the 2 cards. We're gonna do one. Which one is it? All right, so that one came in reverse. We're gonna do the Swan spirit here. But the other one that came out, and it kind of came out in reverse, was Nightingale. So it could be about a message maybe you're trying to get out or something like that. That's not really coming through or being accepted. There's also the Stingray in the bottom of the deck. And this is about like a great awakening, also being awoken to some truth. But Swan spirit here. I love this Swan spirit energy. It reminds me of wisdom also. It reminds me of the harmonic influence of the universe, being in a space of serendipity, in a sense, right? Perhaps you may have felt like you went through a journey of like the dark swan or the black swan into the space of the light swan. It could also be that maybe you, talking about expansion, thank you, and I am going to read from the book what this one is saying, but talking on expansion here, you know, I'm getting the story about like the ugly duckling, where, you know, they look different and whatnot, and I'm not sure if it was a goose or they were a swan. I can't, but I'm kind of getting the story about the ugly duckling where they didn't necessarily fit in. They were getting picked on in their environment, right? So that's kind of what it could have been like. It could have been like you and your environment, you didn't necessarily fit into your environment, but it was because, lo and behold, you was the prettiest of them all. You were the one that, excuse me, you were of a different breed, cut from a different cloth, if you will, right? And so there could be some like maybe you needing to accept who you truly are, right? Accepting your calling, your purpose, your true divine self, as opposed to the projections of other people or trying to force something that isn't, right? So I love that. I am going to read from the book, and like I said, it's a wisdom that is, you're coming into that, or you found yourself now in that space, right? And so being in the waters with confidence, being in the waters with a space of like, yeah, I'm not a duck, right? My voice is different. I hear God differently in the room, right? I don't quack like yeah, quack. But nonetheless, like, you know, we can still be family. Or maybe some of y'all realize that you have to, this could be about family, right? Which is why that's coming up, right? It could be where maybe your family didn't necessarily look at you in the same lights, in the same respect, or your siblings maybe bullied you and you're healing some like inner child wounds in regards to that, and you're coming to your true self. That could be part of it. It could also be like, you know, just really the family you are creating for yourself. It's a lot different than the traumas that you've experienced with your family growing up, like you breaking a cycle, and you're saying, you know, that shit ended over there. I'm not repeating this pattern. With the 3 of Cups, like, yes, it's fun and everything like that. They're celebrating a lot. Maybe you haven't really celebrated who you are in a true light, and it's kept you isolated, it's kept you in hermit mode, it's kept you away. But in that, you got to do a lot of contemplation, a lot of healing, a lot of reflection of like, who am I really? You know, and you found that, yeah, you are a fertile, abundant being. You are a beautiful soul here. What is a crystal that they can connect with, or that's in resonance with their energy for Sagittarius for this new moon? What? I think it's a green crystal, but I can't see yet. Give me one moment. And it's face down. It is. I think this one came out. Oh my gosh, this did come out. I don't remember for what sign. It could have been for Taurus, but again, animals is coming through here. Oh wow, and then another green crystal in the bottom of the deck. Brazilianite with flexibility here. And then animals. You can have a strong connection with animals. Yeah, I was sensing that. I was feeling that with the birds here. Maybe there's a strong connection between you and birds, and like communication with birds. Well, oh yeah, you also have a bird spirit here with the swan. So I'm definitely going to read what Swan says. But I feel like this is really about like spreading your wings and allowing yourself to be open to the nature of your higher self. Maybe you've been in a more animalistic space and you're ascending from that animalistic space into a higher space. With flexibility, I'm kind of getting some like breath work and like yoga, so maybe you're into that. Or learning, you know, learning more to be flexible with, yeah, thank you. Learning to be more flexible with what it is you're learning about life, and like trusting the process, because maybe you were like really self-critical or really hard on yourself, and you know, maybe there was like a lot of indoctrinations or a lot of fears or something like that, and you're learning to be flexible with opening up into this new version of yourself. Realizing, you know what, I'm no longer the same individual I was before, and how does this serve me now? How does this look for me now? So before I pull the final advice, I'm gonna read what it says for the Swan Spirit. 1 minute. There we go. I love that. One of the key words is elegant power. And I did feel a sense of like elegance, right? Which is why I was like, you know, just the way of like carrying yourself, right? All right, so it says effortless creativity, sensitive mystic, and elegant power. The swan represents heightened creativity. In Hindu mythology, the goddess Saraswati, the embodiment of language, creativity, and artistry, rides on the back of this graceful creature. This swan is ready to take us there, to the fluid rounds of writing, creating, and reflecting, This potent and healing energy is not to be taken for granted or to be taken lightly. When the Swan card appears, your soul is calling for attention, for solo time. An inner voice is waiting to be heard. An inner vision is likely to be revealed. When this energy is balanced, it has infinite creative power. When it is out of balance, it is agitated, snappy, and lacking vision. To bring this energy into balance, it requires some writing and or solo time. So yeah, Hindu goddess, you know, I felt like yoga energy. Saraswati is, yes, connected with the swans. So, and I also did get the Hermit card. So it could be that maybe some of y'all still are needing to be called to stay in that Hermit energy for the wisdom, and some of y'all have learned to be more flexible, which is why the flexibility was in the bottom of the deck here. So take the message where it resonates for you, right? Some of y'all are getting ready to step out of that with the knowing of like, yeah, I can be flexible. I can trust my soul's calling and my soul's purpose. And some of you are still kind of like questioning that and needing to be in solo time, needing to go within, as opposed to, that's why, like, if you were trying to travel to like a reunion or something, this could be Spirit's way of saying like, that reunion, that external reunion, that external gathering, that place, that party is not really where you're being called to go right now. Listen to your soul's calling. You're being called to harmonize with yourself, to love yourself deeper. And as you love yourself deeper, you magnetically attract the healthy, meaningful relationships around you. You magnetically attract your soul's partner, right? So what is the final, if you are looking for love, right? This could also be that maybe you're in a relationship and there's some self accountability, some self-work that needs to be worked on in order to really bring elevation to your union with your partner. That's gonna be bringing expansion in a more delightful way, in an elevated way that's beyond your knowingness, right? Beyond you know, in that space of like, wow, or maybe I'm being correct, thank you. I mentioned about having the anxiety about what you know, like the anticipation of what you know. And so, rather than having the anxiety, but being at peace, right? And harmonizing and reflecting. What is the final advice here for Sagittarius? Closing card energy. Oh, I felt that. But excuse me. One more time. There we go. You know, I felt that first anyway, and it was in the bottom of the deck, but I didn't grab it. I did pre-shuffle this deck anyways, but Dragon Spirit wants to come out here. So there's a strong connection with the energies of dragons here. It could also be like maybe your perception of dragons. Maybe you have a perception of like slaying the dragon and all of this, and it's like coming to a new beginning of finding the dragon within you and making peace and harmony. Maybe you have like anger issues, or that's crazy, I'm a Sagittarius. Wow. So you came in divine time, right? And so, you know, maybe you have some like anger issues, or, you know, certain emotions that you're working through. That's, you know, I don't know if y'all see the smoke, but it could be some sort of purification, that process that you're going through right now. You know, doing a specific cleanse in your home, working with incense here, because you also got new beginnings, begin your new life, right? It's time to ride on your dragon. It's time to be ridden. It's time for you to fly. It's time for you to connect with yourself. Bring inner peace, right? Like, rather than keeping your dragon, you know, like rah, like a dungeon dragon, right? Like having it agitated, having it in a ferocious space. It's like, you know, maybe the dragon, you had it sleeping for a bit and then it came out, and it's a lot of energy for you to deal with, and you're like, yo, like, I'm trying to like deal with this energy. You know, you got a lot of like old past life, like DNA codes coming up, and you might be getting like frustrated or nervous and all these feelings, and it's like, breathe, center yourself, right? You don't necessarily have to put the dragon to sleep again, right? But work with it, right? Rather than like allowing it to fully consume you, right? How can you harmonize with it? How can you discover your courage without, you know, maybe some of that anger is because you felt resentful, or you felt like you couldn't really shine your light, or people were criticizing you so much, but you were really your biggest critic, or you really allowed yourself to accept the projections of other people, and you're like, nah, this is me completely, and this is who I'm gonna be. And you're like just rediscovering that again. There's a lot of heart chakra activity going on. Even the dragon is green here, okay? So a lot of green energy. I would say working with the color green for just like love magic, in regards to like love magic for yourself, self-love, not love magic in a way of like trying to make somebody yours. That's only gonna backfire on you, right? Like, you want to allow yourself to really be in wholeness and truth with yourself. So working with the green energy, working with the self-love healing energy, and allowing yourself to manifest a greater version of yourself, right? She's also carrying carrots here in her hand. So and carrots are known to, like, when you cut the carrots, it looks like the shape, it looks like an eyeball, right? So this is like for you to gain clarity in your vision of your soul's purpose here, right? So you know, or like even like diamonds or carrots, right? Or carat golds, right? Like embodying the energy of the minerals of your essence, essentially. So Sagittarius, that is your reading. That is awesome. I wish you the absolute best of luck. May this message serve you for your highest and greatest